One comment about who had the better verse just turned New York hip hop into two different camps. And even Cameron couldn't ignore it.
All right. The 38 Spesh verse Kiss. Let me ask you. I'm sure everybody knows what's going on. Like it's heating up, and I'm glad everybody's keeping the music. But let me ask you this, Cam. If somebody did a song with you and said they had a better verse than you, what would have been your reaction?
Well, let's lay out the scenario for the people that don't know what's going on, because everybody doesn't know what's going on. Sin, that maybe in your world, I have a bigger audience.
We talked about it already.
Yeah, but just because who said they seen that episode? Let's fill people in. Got to fill people in, man. So Jadakiss and 38 Special are going. Pardon me, I don't know if it's special. 38 Special are going back and forth about. Well, it started with they was on Benny the Butcher's song together. Benny the Butcher and 38 Spesh said that 38 Spesh verse was better than Jada's verse. And Jada had something to say in the comments. It was a little bit going back and forth in the comments. Then Jada and Fat Joe released a new song. And it appears, I don't know this for a fact, it appears, or what people are saying, that it looked like Jada took shots at 38 Spesh. Do I know this for a fact? I don't know. But I know that, you know, the timing of their argument online, it seems like that's what he's doing. You know, you ask Kiss, he may say he's not even talking about him. So I don't want to put that on him until he confirms that's what he's talking about. And with Sin is saying that, you know, it's dope that it's all music. It's not no shit in the street. It's not nobody saying they gonna kill anybody, et cetera, et cetera.
See, this is the kind of rap competition fans have been asking for. Everybody keeps saying that hip-hop is missing competition. But this right here is exactly what competition is supposed to look like. Nobody's talking about violence. Nobody's talking about real street issues. They're debating bars. Now, what stands out is how fast this stopped being about two verses and turned into whole cities picking sides. That's the business side of rap. Once fans start identifying with a region instead of just a rapper, engagement goes through the roof. Everybody start reposting clips, making freestyles, and jumping into conversations that they weren't even a part of. That's free promotion for everybody involved.
But it is definitely a big topic about whose bars are better and who raps better, and then it just didn't turn into that. It turned into upstate New York, where 38 Spesh is from, against New York City, and now other people are getting involved, and Jadakiss artists that used to work with him, I won't say his artists, people who used to work with him is involved. People from Rochester, where 38 Spesh is from, they're involved and they're doing freestyles. So this one thing comment that Sin is asking me about, one person saying that his verse is better than somebody else's verse, then turned into this thing snowballing into like a 2-month thing now. And it doesn't seem like it's over. At least from the people from Rochester or other people that's cool with Kiss. I haven't heard anything from 38 Spesh, and outside that rhyme that Kiss did with Fat Joe, I haven't heard anything else outside of that either. But that definitely sparked up some stuff. Now to answer Sin's question, would I care about what?
Would you care if you did a track with somebody and they said they verse was better than yours?
If they said it?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't care. A lot of people say that. Or I won't even say that. It's people who like other people's verse better than my verse or whatever, but it's all opinionated.
Now, this is where Cameron says something that most rappers would never admit. Most rappers' egos won't let them answer this question honestly. The first reaction is usually to defend yourself. Cam's looking at it differently. He's separating opinions from facts. There isn't some official scoreboard that decides who had the better verse. Fans hear music differently depending on who they already like. That's why rap debates never end. Everybody listens with bias first and lyrics second.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can. It's not a computer doing votes. It's not a count. It's your opinion. You can't get mad at somebody's opinion. You know what I'm saying? What I would do is, like for me, when somebody may say somebody had another verse better than me or whatever the case is, I'll sit there and be like, okay, let's do their verse and let's do my verse. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people who say, because you know what it is as well, for me, I'm just telling me, and I can't argue if somebody has a better verse than me or not. It is what it is. You know, I've been blessed to do some records with some really dope artists and legendary artists and so on and so forth. And sometimes people don't even listen to what the other person says. They're more excited for their artists and nobody's better than them and nobody could compete with them and so on and so forth. And whenever I'm not gonna argue it, but we ever sit down and have a conversation, I'll just say, all right, let's break down my verse and see what I say.
This is actually how real lyric debates should happen. Notice how Cameron doesn't say, I'm automatically better. He says, let's actually break down the verses. That's a completely different conversation. Anybody can yell that their favorite artist won. But when you start talking about punchlines, wordplay, storytelling, rhyme patterns, and delivery, that's where you separate casual fans from people who really study rap. The problem today is most debates never get that far. They stop at popularity.
Like, there's mad people will say, I'm trying to think of a song. Let's just use like New York City with Jay-Z, right? Like Hov Smoke Cam. That nigga killed Cam on there. You may like Jay verse better than mine. I'm not arguing that. Smoke Cam? Not in that song. That's my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And if they say I'm bugging, what I'm gonna do? Fight them? I'm bugging. Okay, cool. Joe, smoke me. I don't know what to tell you. Whatever you want to say.
A lot of rappers think admitting somebody out-rapped them makes them look weak. But I actually think it's the opposite. Cam mentioning Jay-Z here shows confidence because he's secure enough to say, if that's how you feel, cool. Ironically, fans usually respect that more than somebody acting defensive. In business and in entertainment, confidence isn't pretending you're undefeated. Confidence is not being threatened every time somebody has a different opinion.
Same thing like with Prodigy, you know what I'm saying? RP Prodigy, when I did, that nigga Prodigy killed Cam on there. And he killed the hook too. That nigga killed Cam, and I actually wrote the hook, nigga, so you like it, huh? I wrote the hook.
You like that?
Yeah, because Prodigy said it. Nah, it's more sinister with P.
There's another lesson hiding inside this story. Cam casually drops something that producers and songwriters understand immediately. He wrote the hook. Most listeners only remember who performed it, not who actually created it. That's how the music business works behind the scenes. Sometimes the biggest contribution isn't what gets the loudest credit. The audience remembers the face they hear, while the writer quietly gets paid and keeps it moving.
TSA.
Yeah, Bandana P said it's a little different. And shout out to Prodigy. That's why I wanted him to say it, because I knew people would have that reaction. Like, if P say this hook, it's crazy. But I wrote it. And I'm not arguing.
If RP, word.
Yeah, P my nigga. I love P. I always shout P out my gram. So I'm not arguing my verse was better than his or not better than his. I'm just telling you, niggas don't even want to hear it. Then when you start making sense about shit, they still don't want to hear it. It's the real I don't want to make sense. So no, to answer your question, I gave a little more detail behind it, but no, I'm not mad if somebody says their verse is better than mine. How am I fight somebody's opinion? It's an opinion.
This might be the biggest takeaway from this whole conversation. Cam keeps bringing everything back to one point. Music is subjective. That's something that social media has almost forgotten. People argue like there's an objective answer to who had the better verse. Sometimes there isn't. One fan values punchlines. Another values storytelling, while somebody else just likes a rapper's voice better. The fact that people still can't agree is actually proof that both artists made people care about something. And in today's music industry, attention is one of the most valuable currencies there is.
Now, if we outside in the street and all that, and we on the block, that shit could go on fire. Fuck out of here. You heard it? Nigga, fuck.
Yeah.
Jay said he right with the hand that don't write. Now, if I'm outside arguing, that's what niggas do. But if you sitting down being logical, no, I can't argue with nigga. You know what I mean? I can't. You got niggas that be like, nigga P said he was at the Carbon, nigga. Fuck you talking about Ken wasn't at the Carbon. You know what I'm saying? Fuck you talking about. Nah, nigga, Killer said, but you gotta understand, Cam said, if you can't get paid in the earth this big, you worthless, kid. Nigga don't deserve nigga. Yeah, you got what you gonna do? You can't argue, man. So it's just niggas' opinion. But no, to answer your question, if I'm outside on the block having fun with it, cool. But overall, no, I'm not mad.
One thing I think Cam explained really well is how a simple conversation about bars turned into an entire regional debate. That's something that New York hip-hop has always done. One opinion can snowball into everybody defending their city, their crew, and their favorite rapper. The good news is that this battle has mostly stayed lyrical. Fans get new freestyles, new records, and real conversations about rap instead of headlines about violence. So let me ask y'all this. Who really had the stronger verse, Jadakiss or 38 Spesh? And do you think this is bringing real competition back to New York hip-hop? Or is it getting blown way out of proportion? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. And make sure you like and subscribe. Peace.